Well, these Cubs, they continue to build one brick at a time. And when we say bricks, that's what we mean when we're talking about wins. The Cubs are throwing a brick right in the face of those Colorado Rockies tonight. It was a close shave. It's the third 2-1 win of the year. And that man right there, we're calling him Senor Hugo. That's right, he wants all of the smoke. Daniel Palencia throwing absolute gasoline on those Colorado Rockies. The Cubs, they complete their fourth sweep of the season, and it makes back-to-back sweeps at the Federal Landmark. And with that said, we are off and running. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery in Wrigley Field. Well, it's doubling as our Marquee Sports Network studio today, and what a magnificent backdrop it is. And it's even better when the Cubs are able to nail down W's. I'm Cole Wright alongside Ryan Sweeney, the 9-year big leaguer, and Sween Dog. Back-to-back nights for us on the field, and back-to-back nights with the Cubs coming away with thrilling victories.
Outstanding. Very uncharacteristic, this series. Only 14 runs scored. You talk about the weather and just the wind and guys not being able to put the ball out of the ballpark. You end up winning the game 3-1, then you go 4-3, and then you win tonight 2-1. It just shows the resiliency, though, of these Cubs. They can win no matter what.
Absolutely, and we didn't see a long ball from the Chicago Cubs until tonight. Pete Crow Armstrong backed up to some PCA-type tricks as we've seen in the past. But for the Cubs to have somewhat of a power outage in this one and finally to tap back into that and then just come away with a one-run victory, that's huge.
It is huge. And PCA hitting his 15th homer, his 50th RBI. He had been swinging through his few sliders down and in early on in this series, but you take a look at what he was able to do tonight. He did not miss that slider down and in. You talk about a 2-iron, golfing it to right field. This is a nice piece of hitting, getting his confidence back. You see the foot down, head down, 2 strikes. Nice job driving the ball to right field right there. PCA on fire.
Without a doubt, he continues to make adjustments to the adjustment, but the Rockies pitchers, they clearly did not adjust to Pete right there because of that pitch down and in, trying to go back foot slider. That's his nitro zone.
That really is. I mean, like I said, he's been swinging through a few of those down in the dirt, but when you elevate it to PCA, he's not going to miss it. He's a professional hitter.
Absolutely. You hang it, PCA will most definitely bang it. And, well, a lot of fans cheering for him out there, wearing those number 4 jerseys in the stands as they file out towards the exits. But in the meantime, our guy Lance, he caught up with today's hero of the game, PCA.
Joined now by Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete, back-to-back sweeps at Wrigley Field. What was locked in for you guys these last 3 games?
I mean, we did the job when we weren't putting up that many runs, so, you know, kudos to our bullpen. Danny's been killing it. BK's been killing it. Matty threw a great game today. But we're playing good defense and getting the job done when we don't put up the runs we feel like we're supposed to put up.
Talk more about Matt. 6 innings today, 8 punchies, looked pretty solid. He stepped up so much with Steele and Shota out.
Yeah, I mean, he's been great all year with them here. So Matty Boyd's just playing his game, and not to date him, but he's got veteran presence, and he really showed today that he knows how to, throw a real baseball game.
Curveball down, you took out 15th of the year. You have a ton of barrels below that portion of the zone. You're dominating there. Why are you so locked in below the zone?
That's some of the natural ability that I think a lot of us carry on with us as we go. But it gets me into some trouble a lot of the times too. And when I'm able to execute, it's nice.
You love hearing go Cubs go, I imagine, right? It never gets old.
No, never. That's the best place ever.
Love it. Thanks a ton, Pete, man. Take care.
Lance, PCA, good stuff as always, and we like to joke around our Marquee Sports Network studios. PCA stands for pure chaos always, and when he is locked in that batter's box, good things can happen. 15-plus pumps and 15 or more swipes. AL, NL players through 56 team games since... Hold on a second, Swing Dog. Is that a misprint since 1920? Oh, goodness gracious sakes alive. PCA clearly reading that John Wooden pyramid of success. Bobby Bonds, Ken Williams, and PCA right at the top of that list most recently. When he is locked in, like we said, he's a dangerous customer. And for him to finally get back in the mix after scuffling just a taste over the last few games, that's big for Craig and company.
Well, yeah, and he's been in the leadoff spot. He's hitting the 7th hole. He hits in the 4 hole when a righty's going. But he doesn't just put the ball out of the ballpark. He steals bags. We saw him last night stealing third to get in position to tie the ball game. And that's what he does. 16 stolen bases, and you talk about just what he's been able to do and what he means for this team. Look, he's a great interview every single time. He knows how to talk. He's a confident guy. So to be able to watch him go out here and have the success he's had, he deserves all of it.
And how about the jockeying for position atop Major League's RBI top list of PCA, Seiya Suzuki? It's like you and I out there on the golf course, a little friendly competition, even though you're way better at golf than I am.
We're just ham and egging it, right? We're partners and we're going back and forth. So, yeah, they just keep going back and forth. You talk about what they've been able to do. RBI leaders. You have Seiya Suzuki and Pete Crow Armstrong in front of Rafael Devers and Aaron Judge. I mean, that's a good company to have, and good to see that 2 Cubs are up there in the leaderboard.
And just how big is this for in-squad competition, whether it's Seiya, PCA, Dansby, Tuck, everyone continues to chip in and do their part.
I think you have to think about it too. Guys, we're only in May, right? I mean, we're in May, and these guys are putting up these type of numbers. I think the sky's the limit for these guys. They're going to keep feeding off each other. I don't think there's any slowing down anytime soon.
Absolutely. The squad not trying to slow down, and we're not slowing down at all either. We continue to rip away right here on Cubs Postgame Live. We have a guest that's stopping by to join us tonight. Well, he got after it out there on the field. Ryan Brazier getting some of those headphones on. Ryan, thanks so much for stopping by and joining us. A tidy outing for you this evening. 1 inning, just 1 hit allowed. How big is it for you to just go out there and be another link in the chain and be able to cross T's and dot I's for your skipper?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. You know, finally getting to be out here and part of this club. You know, watching them from afar over the last month or so in Arizona and with Iowa. Just itching to get back, and you know, now that I'm here, getting thrown into the fire is exactly what I wanted.
It seems to be a complete team effort right about now. No matter whose number's been called over the last few ball games, everyone coming out of the bullpen has chipped in and done their part. How big is it for that to know that everyone is pitching in and it's a complete group effort?
Yeah, for sure. You know, like the few good teams the really good teams I've been on, you know, the bullpens have been thrown into like whatever situation, not really many roles. And just going in and getting outs and competing and not walking guys, you know, and you see it a lot here that like games we don't walk guys as a bullpen, you know, it's pretty smooth sailing.
How are you feeling? You look great out there. I mean, coming off the groin injury, being on the IL, like how are you feeling out there physically? Great?
Feeling good, yeah. You know, and I love getting the ball. You know, I love pitching in close games, but you know, hopefully, you know, the next few weeks getting my feet wet back and getting comfortable and just keep building off of what I'm doing right now.
What's the friendly competition like, whether it's yourself or Brad Keller or Drew Pomeranz or Chris Flexen? Everyone seems to chip in. Do you see guys go out there and get after it, and then you say to yourself, well, I don't want him to do better than me, even though we're on the same team?
I don't really think we go about it that way. I think it's just, you know, you kind of feed off of what the guy does in front of you. And, you know, earlier you said that, you know, everybody's going into different situations, and you know, if the guy in front of you goes in and has a good inning, like you kind of just want to build off of it and do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't a bullpen guy. Obviously, I was a hitter. But in talking to a few bullpen guys, some guys want to know what their role is. Like, do you guys feel like you have certain roles or know when you're going to come in the game? Or are you just kind of like, hey, it's just next guy up. I'm going to go out there and just do my job and go out there and throw the inning?
Yeah, for sure. You know, and besides Danny right now, obviously how well he's throwing in the 9th inning. But just being ready to go. And as soon as the 4th, 5th inning gets around, you know, guys start moving around and, you know, everybody's doing their stuff to get in the game, you know, if their number's called, and it's kind of just like a, you know, group effort.
Yeah, back-to-back sweeps right here at Wrigley Field. Before we get you out of here, how fun is winning, Ryan?
It's so fun. Come on. You know, like I said, I've been on a couple of really good teams, and there's not much like it.
Yeah, this is a really good team as well, one of the best in all of baseball, and part of the reason why they're so solid right now, this man right here. Thank you so much,
Thank
Ryan.
you, guys. Yeah,
appreciate the time, and best
of
luck as the season continues to unfold.